Had trouble with the slides. All right. The real estate wholesaling, your first course that you're gonna take in the academy. Okay. We're gonna talk about what is real estate wholesaling because you probably heard about it a lot. That's probably the reason why you bought the course. Probably the reason why you didn't buy the course. I don't know. But I'm gonna let you know that this is the number one way to get into real estate. After this course, you're gonna know everything you need to know to go out there and go make some deals happen. So that's good. You know what I mean? We're gonna put you in the best position possible so you can make money. The best position possible so you can make money, okay? And we're gonna walk you through step by step. Okay, you might need to put on your focus mode, be locked in. You know, all these courses may take you hours to complete, so just lock in, get all the info, then make your decision on what you want to move forward on. You know what I mean? And also, it's new courses that's going to be added to this academy every month. So you want to stay subscribed, join the IBO program, all that. Okay. Real estate wholesaling is basically you are the middleman between an investor, a fix and flip investor, and a seller, right? And the way that you are the middleman is because of contracts, right? A purchase and sell agreement and an assignment contract, right? That connects you between the seller and the investor, right? The fix and flip investor. Now, here's how it works, right? So, as a wholesaler, you contact people that own distressed properties, right? Rental properties, it may be an old rental property, anybody in a distressed situation. And you basically explain to them that you can offer them a service to where you will help them sell their house for cash as is, and it will not cost them any money out of pocket, right? And you're basically telling them that they won't have to use realtors, right? They won't have to worry about realtor commissions, right? Here's what you're doing, okay? As a wholesaler, you reach out to someone, you reach out to a homeowner, you ask them, do they want to sell their house, right? Once they say yes, okay, they agree to sell their house, right? You then determine how much the house is worth, right? And how you determine what the house is worth is called the ARV. Now, we're going to go over the specifics about the ARV, the numbers you need, all this, right? We're going over specifics. This is just an overview, right? So you find out the ARV, you find out the repair costs, and you construct the deal, right? As a wholesaler, you construct the deals called the maximum allowable offer, right? We're going to teach you about all that. The maximum allowable offer is the most that you can offer a homeowner for the home in all cash, right? See, here's the killer. Here's the kick to it, right? The maximum allowable offer, let's say the house is worth 100,000, right? Your maximum allowable offer is that you can give them 100,000 for the house, right? The thing about wholesaling is that you never have the 100,000, right? You use a purchase and sell agreement to get the house under contract, right? You say that you're gonna buy it with the purchase and sell agreement. Then in the purchase and sell agreement, you have an inspection period. Okay, I don't think I'm going too fast. Try to slow down, right? To make sure that y'all understand this. So you determine if someone wants to sell or not. Then once you know that they want to sell, you run the numbers, right? You give them an offer, right? You let them know how much. If they agree to the offer, then you get them on a contract, right? And once you get them on the contract, it's with the purchase and sell agreement, okay? The purchase sell agreement is basically saying for your whatever price y'all agreed on, right? Let's say 100K that you're gonna buy the house, right? But in the purchase and sell agreement, you have something called earnest money down, right? Which money you have to put behind the contract, right? So you have an earnest money down, okay? And in the contract as a wholesaler, you are going to put in an inspection period. Now, don't think contracts are like sacred things. You know what I mean? I'm not an attorney, right? So, if you need to advise with your attorney, have your attorney look it over. You know what I mean? But I've been doing this, so I know, right? You can put an inspection period, right? This inspection period, there's different words out there. It's inspection period, contingency period, it's a period, right? You can put 10 to 15 days, right? And this is basically allowing you and telling the seller that, hey, I'm just going out there to inspect the house, make sure that everything's looking good, make sure everything is done right. You know what I mean? So you're letting the seller know that in the inspection period, and you're saying that if everything looks right, I'm going to move forward with the deal. Now, if something doesn't look right, we can either renegotiate or we can kill the deal, kill the contract on the house. So that's what the seller's agreeing to, right? When you get them to sign a purchase and sell agreement, right? Now, there's local ways you can get people to contract, right? You go to the house, you can meet up with them to get them to sign a contract, or you can get it signed online. Okay? So, now, if you're still with me, what you would do is once you had a purchase and sale agreement signed, right? You got the earnest money down there. What you would do is you'll send the contract to a title company. Now, I'm breaking everything down to you. A title company is the person that's going to handle the deal, right? A title company, they are a company, an establishment, and all they do is deal with transactions all day, right? So when you're doing this wholesaling thing, when you're doing this wholesaling career, when you're going after deals, don't think that you're going to be the person that has to handle all the paperwork. No. Title company does that for you, right? Also, with the title company, you do need to use a title company every single transaction, so you have to, right? Inside the title company, they have people called escrow officers, right? Escrow officers are people that you can interact with, right? They're like agents, and they will handle the transaction, right? One thing about wholesaling, I'm going to say, you do not need to pay for the title company, right? You can have a buyer, cash buyer, pay for the title company. You'll know what that means later, but you can have them pay. You don't need to pay for title companies, right? Okay. You send the purchase and sale agreement to the title company, and they'll run title, right? Okay. Now that you're on this ticking clock, right? You have 10 to 15 days, however long you set the inspection period, right? I always set my inspection periods. I'll say do it for around 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? That gives you enough time to find a buyer. Okay? So, now that you found a title company, you got everything right. Now you're on the inspection period. So what you would do now is you will find buyers. Okay? This gives you time to find someone to buy that purchase and sale agreement contract off of you, right? Because when you're wholesaling, you're getting a property under contract for a discount, okay? A discount meaning that it's 60% of the ARV, right? What that does is that gives people room, fix and flippers, room to get in your deal, fix the distressed property up, and make money too. While you making money because you connected the two together, right? You brought them the deal. You did the footwork, right? You're the middleman, right? It all makes sense, right? So in the inspection period, that's when you use to promote to cash buyers, right? Now, the thing this is the overview. I'm going to make videos in depth going over the specifics when it comes to cash buyer and all that. I'm going to let you know about all that. So the thing that you want to do is you want to then, once you market to cash buyers, which I'm going to teach you, and you find one that wants your deal, that wants to flip it, you know. Then what you would do is you will assign the purchase and sale agreement to the cash buyer, right? Right? Because once you have a cash buyer, you're then going to tell the seller that, hey, I want to move on with the deal, right? Let's say that you close on March 20th, right? You're basically saying to the seller, like, yeah, I want to move on with the deal and close on March 20th for 100,000, right? Now, with the cash buyer, since you found a cash buyer, you showed them the property, you know, and when you're around the seller with the cash buyer, you just want to let them know that that's your partner. You know what I mean? If people ask you, are you a wholesaler? No, I'm an investor that works with a group of partners, you know? So you could basically tell the seller that you are going to be with a few partners today and you want to see the house, okay? It might be multiple times. You might have multiple cash buyers that want to see it on different days within the inspection period. But once you find out that you have a specific cash buyer that can close when you can close and they can get the deal done for you, then that's when you want to move on in the contract. And with real estate wholesaling, if you don't ever find a cash buyer, that means one thing, most likely. It means that you didn't get your deal you didn't get the contract at a discount enough. So there's no room for someone to move in, renovate it, and make money flipping it, okay? So if you don't find a cash buyer, then you will simply cancel the contract, right? Cancel the contract because you had an inspection period, right? Okay. So once you find a cash buyer, you want to assign that purchase and sell agreement for the amount that you and the seller agreed on. Let's say, remember, it was $100K. So now that you assign it, you can assign it for a fee now, right? You're basically giving them the deal for a fee. Now your fee could be $10K, your fee could be $5K, your fee could be $30K, right? So what you want to do is you assign the contract for $10K. So now the purchase and sale agreement is assigned to the cash buyer now. So now on March 20th, he's going to buy the property and you're going to get a check for $10K, right? So that was basically how you wholesale, the big overview on it. Now I'm going to go on videos breaking down how to exactly do this. Now, you're probably thinking, what is required to wholesale? Okay, you don't need a lot of money. I'll say you can have anywhere from $100 to start with to $200 to start with. Or you can have $500. It just depends on what type of marketing that you want to do. You know what I mean? How much money you want to spend, For the earn this money down, there is a few tricks that you can use to where you won't spend money on the earn this money down. So, it's a lot of options, You do have to be 18, you know what I mean? If you're underage, I recommend you bird dogging. That's the thing, You can look up what bird dogging is. I probably talk about it on my TikTok, But yeah, if you're under 18, you can't do it. You could probably work with the older cousin or something or older sibling and work something out. But yeah. Another thing that's required with wholesaling is hard work. You do have to make a lot of calls. It's not super easy, but the payouts are good. I have students who made a lot of money. I post my testimonials if you follow me on Instagram. Follow Cash Flow Upskill on Instagram too. We post a lot of testimonials of people making money from wholesaling. People ask me how long is it going to take me to make money and get a deal. I can't honestly tell you that. It's some people who get deals within 3 weeks. It's some people who don't get deals until 3 months. It took me 28 days, but I don't know how long it's going to take you, right? You don't need a lot of money doing this. As I said before, you don't need credit and you don't need a real estate license, right? Now, I'm going to tell you one thing. You do not want to be doing bad business when it comes to real estate because people can sue you in real estate and you having a license will make it very, very, you not having a license will make the court take the person who's suing you side more. You know what I mean? Because the court will feel like that you stepped out your boundaries a little bit because you don't have a license and you're trying to do wholesaling or whatever. You know what I mean? But I never heard of anyone getting sued. It's very laid back. Wholesaling is very risk free. You know what I mean? And you really won't lose money because everything that you pay for, you're getting use out of it. For example, if you buy a list, if you skip trades, whatever you do, you know what I mean? You're using money for it. So you're getting something for it. So you won't lose money. You don't need a real estate license, and you don't need a lot of money. But you do need hard work. You do need a good mindset. You know what I mean? Mindset is everything, you know. You can teach two people the same exact thing. One person can make money, and one person can make $0. What's the difference? Was the teachings different? No. Was the comprehension different? Yes. Why? Because everyone has a different mindset. So you need to make sure that you have a good mindset. You're always positive. You know about schedules. You're organized. You wake up. You get to work. You don't want handouts. You're willing to put in effort. You know, you're willing to read books. You're willing to watch podcasts. You're willing to never stop researching. You know, it's a lot of things when it comes to being an entrepreneur that you have to think about and you have to do. Okay. Now we're going to talk about yeah, this is a long video. Okay. But we're explaining it, we're breaking it down. So now we're going to talk about virtual wholesaling versus local wholesaling, right? It's blank because I'm going to talk to you and tell you, right? Okay, the pros of virtual wholesaling is that you can do it from your house. You know, you get deals faster. It's more time. It's better time management, right? You have more flexibility with your hours. The cons of virtual wholesaling is that you basically cannot know really what's going on. You have to put your trust in a lot of people because you're not there. For example, you do a virtual wholesale deal in like New York. You're not in New York, so you don't know exactly what's happening, but you have to trust and be able to hire people out. So you have to put a lot of trust in people when you're virtually wholesaling. You know, also when you're virtually wholesaling, I feel like you can network better, you know, and it's harder, but I feel like in the long term, it's better for you to virtually wholesale. You know, it's better for you to scale, which I'm gonna talk about mastermind groups that you could join. You know, and what you could do once you want to take your virtual wholesaling business to the next level. You know, you might have to invest, but if you have did deals, and once you do deals and you want to scale up, you have money. You should have money to invest. You know what I mean? Okay, so the pros for locally wholesaling, we refer that as doing business in person. You know, virtually, you're doing business over the phone. Locally, you're doing business face to face. You know, you're meeting the seller at Starbucks. You're having them sign a contract with pen and paper. You know, it's a whole different type of vibe. But with locally wholesaling, you know what's going on. So you can look at your market and you can look at what's going on in your area and you'll know what's going on. For example, you know, you're virtually wholesaling and you're looking on Zillow and you're running comps, you're looking at surrounding properties that are similar. You know, there might be some things that you can actually see when you're a person locally, when you're locally wholesaling, that you won't be able to see from virtually because you're looking on Zillow or you're looking on Google Maps. You know what I mean? And it might be not updated, it might not be 100% accurate. You know, when you're locally wholesaling, you're looking right at it. So it's 100% accurate. Like, you know what you're looking at. You get what I'm saying? Now, the cons of locally wholesaling is that nothing is automated. You know, you have to do everything from sending paperwork, meeting people. You know, you can only meet a certain amount of people in one day when you're locally wholesaling. And there's a lot of in-between time that you could been spending like time on marketing. You know, instead of spending an hour to drive out to the seller, you know, when you're virtually wholesaling, you could just hop on the phone with a seller for 30 minutes. You know, when you're locally and virtually wholesaling, the way you get deals are the same. The way you mine for deals are the same. The difference is how you interact with the seller. So you might spend an hour locally wholesaling to go meet up with someone and they might not show up. Now you just wasted 2 hours because now you got to drive back. Now you're mad. You know what I mean? So, I wouldn't say virtual is just 100% better than local. I'll say locally wholesaling is easier than virtual wholesaling. Virtual wholesaling, like I said, you have to hire a lot of people. And I believe it's more money. Locally wholesaling, I believe it wastes more time and it's more tedious because you have to do every single thing in your business. You have to show it to the title company, you know. But hey, they're both making money and they're both wholesaling. We're gonna teach you both how to do both, right? Because like I said, the way you mine for deals are the same, and you're gonna be able to pick which one you wanna do if you do decide to wholesale.